Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Today I have joining me my friend, my philodendron. And I brought him along because God's been showing me the difference between a part of our lives that's hidden underground, but yet determines the part of our lives that's above ground and that's visible to other people. We have two parts to our being. And that part that's under the surface, that's hidden away, that people can't see, determines that part that we can see. And God wants to heal both of these. I call this part that people can see the fruit, and I call this hidden part the root. So he wants to heal the root and he wants to heal our fruit. And one of the things I've been seeing is that many of us, myself included, this is how I became aware of it, is we carry in our root, in our hearts, under the surface that no one can see, a deep identification with and a fear of rejection. Rejection. It may be things that happened to us early on, ways people treated us. Even things that happened in our home life or things that have happened in various jobs or social interaction. But these feelings of rejection that have happened, we determine, hey, I'm never going to experience that rejection again. I'm going to be a happy winner. I'm only going to do things that I'm good at. I'm not going to take risks. I'm going to hide this rejection. I don't ever want to feel that again. But yet in the back of our minds and our hearts, there's this fear of rejection that's there, and it determines so many of the things we do, so many of the things we don't do. A lot of people never become their truest selves because they're afraid of this rejection, right? So when God comes along, he wants to heal that sense of rejection. That rejection is a lie. Satan first communicated that to Eve back in the Garden of Eden when he told her that, hey, God's holding out on you. God knows that if you eat that fruit he said don't take, you'll be like him, knowing good and evil. Right? So in other words, God doesn't want the best for you. He's rejecting you from the best. The best is totally dependent on you. You got to take the best for yourself because God won't give it to you freely. He's not good and gracious like that. That was the lie. So this rejection message has been around for a long time, right? So it's time to do some digging. And what I've found is that this rejection, it's kind of like ivy growing on a lawn. You see this nice, beautiful lawn, and there's a piece of ivy growing in there. And then you tug on that piece of ivy, and what you find out is that, oh my goodness, boy, this thing's got roots that go to 3 doors down, into the next block maybe. It's crazy how widespread the roots of this are. And that can be like rejection. We see one little thing that triggers it, and then we start pulling on it to get it out of our lawn, and then we're like, oh my, this goes such a long ways. And I think that this is so prevalent in most of us. So I don't want you at all to think that if that's you, that you're not alone, or that you can't talk about it, or that it's not normal. It's not something wrong with you. And one of the things that I know I received this, whether it was intentional or not, I don't know. But one of the things that I felt from churches and church upbringing over the year is that, hey, it's your job to have good fruit on the surface. You need to look good on the outside, get your act together, do this, don't do this. It's all these fruits. But what happened was it didn't deal with the root. It didn't deal with the root issues that I was going through and bring God's healing and his love to those roots and his acceptance, abundant acceptance and love to those roots. And now Jesus understands. I want you to know you're in good company if this is you, because he understands. He can empathize with where you are because he knows about rejection. It says in Isaiah chapter 53, I'm going to read it here for you. It says that he has no stately form or majesty that we should look upon him, no appearance that we should be attracted to him. You know, a lot of us are afraid, oh my gosh, I don't look good enough. I'm not hard body enough. I'm not chiseled enough. I don't look good in a bathing suit. Therefore, we carry this sense of just rejection on the physical. He understands that. He wasn't this gorgeous GQ model that people would instantly be drawn to. He understands what it's like to feel not attractive enough. Okay, and then it says, he was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And I'm going to stop right there. I just want you to know, if you think God doesn't understand, please listen to this and take this to heart. When Jesus was here, it says he was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows. What a name for God, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. He understands where we are. He understands what it feels like to feel that rejection, to feel cut off from people, to feel not desired, not wanted, to feel alone. He knows those feelings. He knows those feelings. And he allowed those feelings in so that he could take them and take them away. He took them all the way to the cross. He died a rejected person, but he did it in love for us. He took all that rejection away. He took the root and the fruit away. He took away all the wrongs that we did as a result of that rejection, all those things that we tried to grasp onto in the world, all the attention, all the fame, all the glory, all the money, all the status, all the whatever, popularity, whatever. He died to take those things away so that we could be filled with him, with his acceptance, and that with his acceptance, the acceptance of other people, to help them feel accepted and to know how much he accepts them. So there's a verse in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 6 that says, he has made us accepted in the beloved. The beloved is Jesus. What a great name. He is heaven's darling, as he's been called. He is the beloved of God. He's the beloved of our hearts. He's the one who loves us. It says we're accepted in him. If Jesus is accepted in heaven, then you're accepted in heaven because you're just with him. You're just with him. And all you have to do is ask. Just look to him, it says. Look to him and trust. He'll give you the. I pray for everyone listening that God just pours out like a river, the rivers we talked about in our last episode, that he pours out those rivers of trust, pours out those rivers of belief, pours out those rivers of love, pours out the rivers of his heart of acceptance for you. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter how confused you are right now, right here in this moment, he deeply accepts you. Spurgeon once said that you stand before God as though you were Christ, because Christ stood before God as though he were you. Everything about you, both the roots and the fruits, both he stood before God as though that was him, rejected, doing all the wrong things to feel better. And because he did that, he took it all away at the cross. And now you stand before God as though you were Christ, with all of heaven's joy, with all of its glory, with its rivers of acceptance and beautiful acceptance. So I pray for everyone watching right now that you see that and that you accept his acceptance. So God bless you. I'll see you next time. Hope you have a wonderful day.